What happens when one of the world's most influential democracies begins falling in the very rankings it once promoted globally? As of 2026, the United States has dropped to 64th place in the World Press Freedom Index, its lowest position ever recorded in the report. At the same time, international democracy assessments continue to classify the U.S. as a flawed democracy, reflecting growing concerns around institutional trust, political polarization, and the broader information environment. This matters because press freedom and democratic stability are often viewed as indicators of institutional strength. When those rankings decline consistently over time, the conversation shifts from politics alone to the resilience of the system itself. Welcome to World Strategy Lab. According to recent reports, the downward trend has been developing for years. Analysts point to political hostility toward media institutions, declining public trust, rising polarization, and growing pressure surrounding the modern information ecosystem. This issue extends beyond journalism. Press freedom rankings examine the broader environment surrounding media operations, including institutional independence, political pressure, safety concerns, and the ability of journalists to operate without intimidation or interference. That is why these rankings attract global attention. For decades, the United States positioned itself internationally as a leading advocate for democratic governance and free expression. A continued decline in those same indicators inevitably draws greater international scrutiny. There is also a reputational impact. Global rankings influence how countries are perceived in debates involving governance, institutional credibility, and democratic leadership. When a country long associated with stability begins slipping in those measures, the signal resonates far beyond domestic politics. At the same time, these reports remain politically contested. Supporters argue the rankings reflect legitimate warning signs around institutional trust and political division. Critics argue index systems can oversimplify complex national realities or fail to fully account for constitutional protections that still exist within the United States. The reality is straightforward. A decline in democratic and press freedom rankings does not automatically mean institutional collapse, but it does signal growing pressure inside systems once viewed as globally resilient. The debate now centers on whether democratic institutions can adapt to a fragmented digital era where trust, information, and political legitimacy are increasingly challenged simultaneously across modern societies globally. As of today, the key question is whether institutional trust can recover fast enough to reverse a decline much of the world is now watching closely. Stay informed. This is World Strategy Lab.